This is Redstone Commander here, and I'm here to review something that's pretty cool. It is the Tiger Electronics Lights Out 2000. Now, this was released, of course, in the year 2000. Of course, they call it a weird name like this, but this is really cool. This is basically just a Lights Out game, but in the future version. Now, notice that Tiger actually did make the older ancestors to the 2000 version. The original Lights Out. There is, of course, Lights Out Deluxe and the Lights Out Cube, and even after this, there was Lights Out 2002, which is released in the year since I was born. But anyways, let's take a look at the Lights Out 2000. Since there is no instructions, I have to use the PDF online to know what I'm going to do. But since I've already know thanks to Lucky Penny Shop, and thanks to the PDF, I can know what to do in this. Or I know a little bit what to do in this. So, you see the different buttons. You get your on-off button, your start button, your sound button, and your help and the score button. And this is your big select button for no reason. They should have added the select button, and the start button should have switched places, but okay. But they decided to choose that. It was also identical to the select, so I sing on the original Lights Out and Lights Out 2002 as well, so you just have to deal with it. So once you power it on, you get this. So as you power it on, you get this cute little startup animation, which I believe is also from the original too. Now this flickering that you see, this flicker will not appear in real life, and you notice this weird noise too. Odd, isn't it? Now once you start up, you get this cross, and you can't do anything with this. This is basically just your little startup screen. And you press select. Now you get Lights Out number 1. This is your standard difficulty. Lights Out original number 2 is your harder difficulty. And Lights Out number 3 is your basically a little create your own picture / create your own level design. And of course you get action, and in action mode it summons more lights as you try to turn the rest of the lights off, and you also get yellow lights, so you have to turn all those off before they turn yellow, or before they actually fill up the entire grid. 2-player, which allows you to fill up as much lights as you want. Your player 1 is the red color, and your player 2 will be the green color. So you have to fill him as much. So the player who fills the rest of the screen wins. And this is your classic Lights Out game, where it's a lot like the original. I know that the 2002 version is also just like the classic, but it's just rebooted. There's the standard difficulty, your harder difficulty, and your create your own level difficulty. And we're back to the start. Now I'm going to show you the standard difficulty, so I'm going to choose level 1. It saves it, so what you get is what you're going to see. And there's no way to reset this thing. The only way to reset this thing is, I don't know, take out the batteries, and then just put it back in, I think. And you see some green lights. And as you turn off the lights, you get more lights forming. It's supposed to be more difficult, so that's why they call it Lights Out 2000. It's supposed to be a more harder version of Lights Out. So you're going to try. So your objective is to try to find a strategy to turn off all the lights. There's almost 100 different puzzles in there too, and that's what makes it more challenging. If you're in puzzle 100, there is more red and green lights filling up your entire screen. So that's the basics on how this works. So you get difficulty number 1. So let's try out the harder difficulty. And you're already summoned inside of this first difficulty. You see this little cross? So wherever you see on the screen is always going to give you the cross effect, even the bottom. And I solved the puzzle. And there is another puzzle right here, so you get more challenges along the way. This restarts you back. Okay, that's a bad move. Okay, that's also a bad move, so let's try not to doing that. Okay, so it's getting a little bit more easier now. Now you have to find a way to cover it up to turn off all the lights yourself. And you get the general of how Lights Out 2000 works. Now, number 3 is basically a create your own level. So if you press start, you just create your own level, or just create your own little light picture too. And so if you press first time, it's red, press it again, turns green, and press it again, turns off. So if, for example, if I want to have these lights all set to red, and if I press start, it's saved. So it knows that you started the level. Or, what the heck? It strobes at you for some reason. If you press help, nothing happens. So it's basically just a little light picture mode. So it's kind of like Light Bright in a way. So you create your own little light picture or whatever type of thing. So if for example, if I want to make the letter R, I can make the letter R. Or if I can at least try to. Okay. And there we have the letter R. And you can use green as background. And there's your little background. Now I'm going to show you Lights Out action mode. So action is basically just you have to turn off all the lights before new lights form. And if you hear that noise, that means the new lights are forming. So you have to find a way to turn off all the lights before more lights starts to form. Eventually there will be a yellow light forming. Yep, that's a yellow light, so you'll be able to see some more yellow lights from here to there. You can turn those yellow lights off. Now there's no green, it's just that you just get red and yellow lights in this mode. There's also green lights, so as you progress and survive from here and there, it gets more harder. And I lost. So it tells you your score, 439. And you get a star. Now, 2-player. I'm going to demonstrate the 2-player since I only have 1 player. For example, you are player 1. So player 1 starts first. And you form. And now, second player starts. Now that indicates player 2. And now you get to form. And now player 2. And if I 4 more, I'm going to lose because... And I think player 2 wins. So there you get the basics. So player 1 got no point, and player 2 got a point. So you got the basic because of how the player 2-player battle works. So now it's time for the Lights Out difficulty level 1. So let's start. And I'm already have a difficulty level 3, so it's going to be a bit hard. So you see... Now I have a triple line. And let's say if I want to undo that, and if I just want to, say, turn off all the crosses. Now I have 2 dots now. 2 squares. And now I have 4. Your only objective is just to turn off all the lights. And now I have little arrows. Yeah, it is kind of hard sometimes, depending on what you do. There is some binary codes to this. Sometimes people can solve this using paper and stuff by describing binary codes and other type of crud like this. So there you get the basics of Lights Out level 1. No, or standard difficulty. Now it's time for the harder difficulty. And you get this. Your only objective is just to turn off all the lights in this difficulty, just like what you did in the previous one. Just a bit of dirt. There's a bit of dirt on this one. There we go. I'm gonna keep this thing delicate and precious as I possibly could. Now, my birthday is gonna be coming up pretty soon throughout these few months, including after Easter. So I'll be having a Tiger Electronics / iDog birthday party. So I'll be having some more Lights Out games. I'll be having the original, I'll be also having the deluxe, and I'll also be having the Cube and even the 2002 version. So I'll be having all versions of Lights Out, except the Gamecom. And most people really don't like the Gamecom because of how poor it has poor sales. The games are not that good, and the sound's terrible. But it does come with the original Lights Out game, for some reason. Maybe it was used as a tech demo for the Gamecom. I'm not sure. But let's not worry about this. So here you get the basics of Lights Out, our classic. And now for the create your own one. Mode 3, which is basically a create your own little certain thing, your own little picture. You can make your own little check, your X, your own letters. That's a check mark. And yeah, you basically get the gist of how this thing works. So that's Lights Out for you. It's a really so that's Lights Out 2000 for you. It's a very interesting game, and I hope you enjoyed this video on Lights Out 2000. Thanks for watching.